Nah, that's not a trick. This is indeed the new Sony Xperia Z that you see underwater. Hey guys, Ash here from cursforward.com and you're watching my comprehensive review of Sony's dust and water resistant flagship phone, the Xperia Z. While 2012 seemed to be the year of the quad-core flagship phone, 2013 has manufacturers clamoring for 1080p displays instead. HTC actually did it late last year with the Droid DNA, LG has the Optimus Pro, Samsung has the Galaxy S4 upcoming. Well, so guess what Sony decided to pack into its flagship Xperia Z? Yeah, you guessed it right, a 5-inch 1080p TFT display packing a pixel density of, wait for it, 441 pixels per inch. Yeah, take that Galaxy S3, take that Retina, 441 pixels per inch, and that is awesome. On paper at least. Well, let's take a closer look at the display in a bit. So moving on, underneath you've got a quad-core Qualcomm Snapdragon Pro processor clocked at 1.5 GHz, an Adreno 320 GPU, 2 gigs of RAM, and 16 gigs of internal storage. Wait, does that sound familiar to you? If it does, it's because you know of HTC's flagship HTC Butterfly aka Droid DNA, which packs in exactly the same specs. Well, for connectivity, we have the usual host of Wi-Fi ABGN, Bluetooth 4.0, GPS, GLONASS, DLNA certification, MHL, NFC with 4G LTE optional. It's nice to see that Sony have also thrown in a microSD card slot here. Again, it's a refreshing change to see USB OTG supported. We were able to connect our wireless receivers and use the Xperia Z with a keyboard and mouse. We were even able to connect a USB flash drive and the Xperia Z detected it without any issues. The Xperia Z is 139mm tall, 71mm wide, and just 7.9mm thick. It weighs 146 grams, and while it's not the lightest in its class, the increased weight can be forgiven thanks to the premium all-glass build. The Xperia Z has a scratch-resistant, shatterproof glass on the front and back. In the front, on top, we have a notification LED, the sensors, the earpiece, Sony branding, and the 2.2 megapixel camera that uses Sony's Exmor R sensor and is capable of 1080p videos at 30 frames per second. Below that, we have the 5-inch 1080p TFT display. Notice the lack of any physical or capacitive buttons here. Sony with its flagship Xperia Z has decided to go the way of the Nexus 4 and have on-screen buttons instead. At the back, we have a noise-cancelling microphone, a LED flash, and the 13 megapixel camera that utilizes Sony's Exmor RS sensor, which is the world's first image sensor with HDR videos for smartphones. Sony promises mind-blowing video quality here, guys, and let's get to that in a bit as well. A little lower, we have the Xperia branding and a bunch of techno-babble that I really don't want to get into. At the top, we have a 3.5mm headphone jack. To the right, a micro SIM slot with a plastic tray that feels really flimsy. It is odd that Sony doesn't include a pin to help slide the tray out. I actually had to resort to using my Lumia 920's pin. A little lower, we have the power button and the volume rockers, and these are well designed and add to the overall premium feel of the Xperia Z. We also have a single speaker and a loop for a strap to remind us that this is indeed a Sony product. While I really do appreciate the positioning of the volume rockers and the power button, as in you are able to hit it easily with your thumb if you're right-handed or with your middle finger if you're left-handed, the speaker positioning here is a little bit questionable. Because when you hold the Xperia Z in your right hand, the palm covers up the speaker there and it really muffles the audio coming out of it. And the audio coming out of it is not really loud in the first place. Again, more on that in a bit. More phone details at the bottom, and to the left we have what seems to be a proprietary connector for a dock, the microSD card slot and the micro USB port. See how all the ports on the Xperia Z are covered? Look closer and you can see the actual rubber grommets inside. These are needed for the Xperia Z to achieve an ingress protection rating of IP57. As per Wikipedia, the 5 is a solid particle protection rating. That means while it is not dust tight or sealed, dust cannot enter in sufficient quantity to interfere with the day-to-day operation of the Xperia Z. The 7 is the liquid ingress protection rating. This means the Xperia Z can survive for up to 30 minutes when immersed in up to 1 meter of water. While I was looking this up on Wikipedia, just for fun, I went ahead and searched for phone. Wikipedia defines a phone as a telecommunications device that permits 2 or more users to conduct a conversation when they are not in the same vicinity of each other to be heard directly. And this is where I have a bone to pick with the Xperia Z. And no, it's not the call or microphone quality, and definitely not the cell phone reception, cause no, I'm not reviewing an iPhone here. It is in fact the sharp edges, the same sharp edges that make the Xperia Z look fantastic, causes a lot of discomfort when you're actually holding the phone up to your ear and talking to somebody. And well, it's nothing that a little maneuvering of the Xperia Z in hand won't fix. The same could be said of the iPhone's reception issues as well. And we don't let that one go, do we? So it's only fair that I point this out. The 5-inch 1080p reality display of the Xperia Z is not the best out there. It is found lacking in both brightness and contrast. Here, let me put it side by side with the Super LCD 3 of the HTC Butterfly, and you can see what I'm talking about. The weakest link of the Xperia Z is its display's viewing angles. The display, while decent when looked at straight on, feels washed out even when you turn it just a few degrees. Well, visibility in direct sunlight is okay. The screen is definitely visible, it is usable. Now let's talk a little bit about the software. So guys, that's your lock screen there, and you can swipe up or down to unlock the Xperia Z. You have a shortcut here for your music player. Just swipe it to the right and you get some quick controls. You can pause or play or skip forward or backwards from here. And similarly, you've got a shortcut here for your camera app as well. You can just drag it to the left, and you can set it to take a shot as soon as you drag it to the left there. So it helps you save a few a second or so there when you're trying to capture that all too important moment there. So let's talk a little bit more about the camera. If you've used the Sony CyberShot point and shoot at any point before, you will be familiar with the superior auto feature there. So the superior auto feature kind of automatically goes between 36 different modes. So say for example, I put this here, and you can see it shows up macro by default. Now I take this off and I put some text here, and that switches to document. And it is worth noting that while in the superior auto mode, the camera switches to 12 megapixel and not 13. To capture 13 megapixel shots, you need to be in the normal mode. You also get a host of options here: the burst mode, picture effect. Here you get a lot of different effects that you can choose between, and on choosing an effect, you get more options here, changing it. Apart from that, you've got sweep panorama, scene selection, again a lot of scenes to choose from. And you've got your 2.2 megapixel front camera and the front video. The camera can shoot 1080p videos, hey guys, at 30 frames per second, going back. And as far as the burst mode goes, guys, there is no best shot option here. You can choose between high, low and middle options for the burst mode. 3920 into 2204 is 8.63 megapixel, and that is the maximum available for burst mode. And there is no option to actually choose the best picture selected. So you need to, if you want to capture just one picture, you need to go back and delete the rest. So that is a disadvantage. Let's take a look at a few sample shots. Now these are taken under good lighting conditions. As you can see, the 13 megapixel camera can take some decent pictures, and these in a low light setting. As you can see, the flash can light up maybe an individual object, but as the area increases, you can see more noise creeping in, as evident in this picture. Let's now talk about video and see if HDR video is all that Sony's making it out to be. HDR video kind of oversaturates everything. Now this is a clip without HDR in brightly lit settings. Now with HDR, the oversaturation and the amount of processing become even more obvious when in a low light setting. This is without HDR, and this is with HDR. But HDR video does work in daylight though. This is without HDR. With HDR, you can see the difference. It is also worth noting that both with and without HDR, while recording video, 1 megapixel is the maximum resolution that you can take pictures at. This is something that was better even by last generation cameras. So again, something I just want you guys to know about. The Sony Xperia Z ships with Android 4.1.2 out of the box with Sony's custom Xperia UI on top. The Xperia UI is simply great. It's clean, unobtrusive, and easy to use. Sony seemed to have designed a lot of this interface with the 1080p display in mind. Just compare the phone icons here. See how sharp and fine it is on the Xperia Z? Every time I turn the Xperia Z on, the Xperia UI seems to scream, "I'm on a 1080p display, I'm on a 1080p display." And that is a real plus for the Xperia Z, in my honest opinion. Despite the 1080p display, the Snapdragon Pro processor keeps everything fast, fluid, and smooth. Jelly Bean's Project Butter is definitely active here. Apps open quick and there is generally no lag or frame rate drops at any time. The Xperia Z handles pretty much any game thrown at it, and the performance is really good. Again, there are no frame rate drops, no lags at any point of time. The Xperia UI also has some nice animations, like say for example, hold an icon and drag it to the trash can at the bottom and you see it opening up. And again, tap and hold on the screen and you can select widgets. So now say for example, let me get a clock and drag it and drop it, and you get a kind of bouncy animation there. And in the app drawer, you can sort the apps either alphabetically or by most used or recently installed, and you can also have your own order. And even in the app drawer, you can drag and drop apps to create folders, so that's an extra level of customization. The Xperia Z ships with the usual host of Google apps and a few of Sony's own, and some of the Sony apps are really good, like say for example the Sony car app. When you're driving, it gives you you open this app up and you can select shortcuts, and these icons here are really big, so it's easy for you to select them, and you can add extra icons as well. And another thing I like about this app is it deactivates the back and home on-screen buttons, so you don't hit these by the in error and get back to the home screen. So a very useful app in case you're driving. Again, if for some reason you're not happy with Google Maps, Sony gives you its own navigation app with Voice Pilot for Xperia. And then that's the Sony Walkman. It's a great music player. You've got a nice UI here, and you can select from your list of music and it looks really good. You have your tracks, your albums sorted by artists, playlists, and your Sense Me channels. Sense Me channels is where you can download data so that your music gets classified under one of these categories, so you can just play relevant music if you've got a lot of music on your device. You can also sign into Facebook and check out what your friends are listening to, and you've got your My Favorites here. The audio quality over here is not really great as far as the loudspeaker goes. Let me just play something here. To give you some perspective, this is the audio quality on the HTC Butterfly. It's not really loud, and even the loudness that you're hearing right now is after turning on where is that sound, yeah, is after turning on xLoud to enhance the loudness of the internal speaker. But it's a whole different story when it comes to earphones. These are the ones that are included. So when you connect the earphones, the quality is a little better. The quality is just a little better once you have the earphones, but then again, once you go into settings and you turn Clear Audio Plus on, the audio improves leaps and bounds. It's amazing. It's really great audio with the earphones once you have Clear Audio Plus on. So I really like that. And another thing here is you can also have a visualizer, so that's pretty cool. And you've got different effects for this. So that's nice. And another thing I like about the Xperia Z is now when you plug out the earphones, you get a water resistance notification here, reminding you to close the flap. So again, well thought out by Sony. I really like that. Sony's album is also pretty good. It will pull stuff from your Picasa and Facebook as per whatever it is that you signed into. And as far as when you open up an album here, it displays the first picture a little larger and the rest of the pictures as smaller thumbnails, and that's nice because if you're going back to review the photo that you just took, you want that to show up a little more prominently, and so that's something I really like. And it's got 7 or 8 rows. Let me just open up an album that's full. Just a minute. It's got 8 rows and 5 columns, again utilizing the 1080p display to the fullest there. I really like the way it's spaced out and the way the album looks over here. One thing about the album though, guys, is that the Sony Bravia Engine 2 is active here, but then you can notice it at work. It is a little visible. Let me just quickly scroll through and I'll show you. So if you can see, it takes a second for the Sony Bravia engine to actually render when you scroll really fast. So let me just show you that again. It really takes away a little bit from the Sony Bravia Engine 2 here, because you can actually see it at work. So you actually see how the picture is and how it changes. So that's something I just want to let you guys know. Videos render really good. It plays most of the major codecs, so that's not a issue. And again, when watching movies, the Bravia Engine 2 kicks in and it looks really stunning, amazing on the 1080p display. Watching movies is a pleasure on this device. Facebook, Twitter and Evernote are also included by default. You also get a McAfee trial. It's also nice to see a QR code reader or a barcode scanner incorporated. So tap the Open Apps button and you get a list of apps over here. Sony likes to call these small apps. So these are like similar to the pop-up browser and pop-up video player from Samsung. So they kind of stay on screen no matter what you do. Kind of helps with the multitasking there. And if you're not satisfied with the list of apps over here, you can get more from the Play Store. You have quite a few apps here. As far as customization options go, just pinch at any point of time and you get these a list of your home screens. You can add an extra home screen at either end, and that's something I like. You can have a total of up to 7 home screens at one time. It is also worth noting that the Xperia UI's home screens do not have the infinite scroll function. That is, at the end of the last home screen, you do not come back to the first one. This is something that HTC has with the Sense 4 Plus and Samsung's always had with TouchWiz. The Xperia Z uses the Google Chrome browser by default, and the text is crystal clear. It's really crisp and you can really appreciate the 1080p screen here. Pages load fast and it's really fluid and there are no issues with the browser. And again, since it's Google Chrome, if you're using Chrome on the desktop, you can sync all your bookmarks and your passwords and whatever you have with your Xperia Z. Now next we get to the keyboard. The keyboard is one of the best stock keyboards that I've come across. So the keys are very well spaced and well laid out, and you get quite a few options here as well. So let me quickly go into keyboard here, language and input, and the Xperia keyboard. So you've got quite a few options. So with the layout, you can choose either a QWERTY keyboard with the shortcuts for numbers on top, or just a standard QWERTY keyboard, or even this kind of a keyboard. And again, you can get additional keys here, full stop and comma keys, or the smiley key. And you've got different keyboard skins. So this is one, another, and another. The Xperia keyboard also supports swipe-like actions. So just to show you, so there you go. You can also press and hold to bring up the home screens here. And as for customization, you have a host of wallpapers to choose from that ship with the Xperia Z by default. There are a couple of new live wallpapers as well, the Enchanted Forest, and you've got a photo slideshow. So this is pretty good. And apart from this, you can set any of these home screens to be your default home screen by just tapping it over here. So now when you hit the home button, you come to this screen instead of this one. So that's nice. And you also have a lot of themes, and these themes don't just change your background. They change quite a few things, right from the color of your icons to the color of the color that trails when you swipe on your keyboard. Now let me hit emerald. You see these icons here are blue, they turn green. So there are quite a few changes when you switch between themes, and it's pretty nice. Let's get back to the default Xperia theme here. And I also like the fact that the notification bar has some quick toggles here, unlike with the HTC Butterfly. Let's go into settings for a bit. So you've got the regular set of settings here. You've got an extra Xperia settings. This device is PlayStation certified, so you can get the PlayStation games on this. And again, you've got quite a few options here, including throw settings and mirror link. Mirror link is to mirror the Xperia Z screen on your TV if you have a mirror link certified device using USB. And throw is to wirelessly throw content from the Xperia Z to your TV. And then we have the stamina mode. The Xperia Z comes with a 2330 mAh battery that's built into the phone, and since the battery is built into the phone, we cannot replace it. And the 1080p display is really power hungry. Just to show you guys, I've been extensively testing this phone out over the last day and a half, and you can see that the biggest battery drainer here is the screen. So in order to make things a little bit easier, well, by default this will give you about 14 to 16 hours if used moderately. So you can get through your work shift with this phone, but if you're a power user, better carry an external battery pack or your charger. Talking about chargers, again keep in mind the Sony Xperia Z does not support wireless charging. As per Sony, if you run a looping video test on the Xperia Z, you get about 5.5 hours of playback. To give you some perspective, the Galaxy S3, when we ran looping video tests, gave us about 8 hours 45 minutes. To get the most out of your battery, the Xperia Z has what is called the stamina mode. What it does is it kind of puts all your apps in a sleep mode when the screen is turned off, so that they do not actually consume data. But then again, you can actually have a few exceptions to it. You can add applications that you can set as exceptions so that they will continue to receive notifications. So your WhatsApp or your Viber, you can still keep it active while still using the stamina mode. And this does help with conserving your battery and getting the most out of your 2330 mAh battery with the Xperia Z. While numbers are in everything, we still went ahead and ran a few benchmarks, and the Xperia Z performed pretty well on both tests, scoring 19,901 on AnTuTu and 7,743 on Quadrant Standard. So that's pretty much it for the review of the Xperia Z, guys. This is a great device, and while it has its shortcomings, it does have a lot of positives as well. So if you're aware of the shortcomings and you still like the device, then go ahead, get it. I'm sure you won't be disappointed by it. So if you guys do want to get the Xperia Z, the links to getting it from Amazon.com are in the description. Guys, I have a request here. I've been making videos on YouTube for about a year now, and this is probably my 8th major review. And I'm pretty inexperienced, and I'd like to get some feedback from you with regards to the review, as in, is there anything you guys want to see different? Is there something you want to see changed? No matter how small it is there something that I'm not focusing enough on, or is there something that I'm going on for too long about? Just let me know, because I'm still learning and I really want to do a good job. And forget the like and subscribe part. Just go to the comment section and just type in a comment. Just let me know what you think of the video, or just let me know if there's something you want changed. End of the day, it's not about me, it's about you, because you're the ones who are watching it. So you'll be in a better, you could give me a better perspective. You'll be in a better position to know what to change than I am in. So just let me know, guys. And I know I said forget about like and subscribe, but seriously, hit the like and subscribe buttons. So that's it, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys soon with more videos, and talking about more videos, comparisons, of the Xperia Z, with the HTC Butterfly, with the Galaxy S3, with the HTC One, with the Galaxy S4. Once they're released, I'll be doing that as well. So stay subscribed, and I'll see you guys soon. Till then, you guys have a great day. Bye bye now.